All right, guys. I'm back home in Korea and getting ready to stream. Just gonna share my link to some potential viewers. We'll see if I'll get any today. Just give me a second because I'm actually pretty bad at this. Like, where do you even get the link to share? Like, I don't fully understand that. I got it. So let me just try sharing this to my Discord. Okay. And I'm basically ready to get started. Let's see. This story was actually published in the New Yorker in 2003. Um, so I had like a little little hiccup there with the 2003 2004 thing, but I realized it's 100 years of the best American short stories, that whole series, in 2004 when this got published in the best American series. So the real first publication date was 2003. Not that that really matters, but it was just like a little random fact that I was tripped up by. So at this moment, I'm about to begin the pre reading, and I haven't really, um, I don't really remember anything about this story. I did briefly skim some like facts about it, like last week when I selected this for my class. But all I know is that Sherman Alexie has some sort of Native American heritage, and it's a name. Sherman Alexie is a name I've heard tossed around quite a bit. Um, that's literally it. That's all. Oh, and also starting with the title, "What You Pawn, I Will Redeem." I'm getting the sense of like, well, we're gonna be at a pawn shop. Oh, this is a story where they actually someone a grandson goes and tries to redeem the thing that is being sold at a pawn shop. For some reason, I get like Uncut Gems vibes. I don't know if anyone's watched that movie. It's a pretty intense movie. It's actually an incredibly intense movie now that I think about it. I loved it, and I kind of want to do a reaction of that, rewatching that. But Uncut Gems was such a crazy. But just think of pawns like a pawn store and somebody trying to what's theirs. Is kind of reminding me of like the gems store, and then the worker there who's just hustling. But totally different context now that I think about it. I'm just rambling. What do I have to expect other than poverty? Uh, Not sure. So let's go into the pre-reading and see what we can kind of dig up. Okay. Oh no, well let's start here. Sorry. So here we go. Sherman and Alexie was raised in Washington. The res being the reservation. Oh wow, 9 year difference. I'm an indigenous immigrant. Some awareness of that like irony of language. What is this Hemingway citation for best first fiction? I've never. Huh. Interesting. I don't know these works. I wish that was us. That's interesting. Invented American comedy. They have this incredible cultural power. I wish that was. That's very interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon in American culture that I would never have been able to comment on myself. We're the yin and yang of the American genocidal coin. That is painful. But I'm getting this irony. I'm getting this sort of self-aware um, pain, and I'm curious how that comes out in the. I'm curious how that comes out in the story. Let's see. What else? What else might be there? Well, let's just go right into. Let's go right into the laptop. Let me open up this thing really quick. And is that showing? Yes, it is. Encyclopedia.com. That's interesting. Well, I don't want to go too long into this. I'm feeling some sort of like maybe it's because of the jet lag. I just got to Korea, but I'm feeling a little bit like a little bit less than focused than usual. But let's open up Goodreads and let's keep it focused. Let's keep it going. Contemporary take on the classic quest tale, a journey to get the stolen powwow regalia. I actually don't know the exact name of this. Okay, there we go. A quest that becomes a journey towards fulfillment and personal identity. Powwow being like, there we go, right? Um, that ceremony of feasting, singing, and dancing. And it was stolen. So that's okay. Um, Dude, Where's My Car meets Native America. Friends and strangers help fill in the details of his life and his character. As a homeless Spokane Indian, far from home, his mission to reclaim his family heirloom becomes a link to his past. Literal and figurative homelessness. That makes sense. More of a fool. Interesting. I'm kind of I'm excited about this. If anything, I wanna. It would be nice to have a funny story. So it's been a while since I had a funny story, but wit, irony, self-deprecation to some extent. Seems kind of almost like that classic Jewish humor. Predictable outcome. This is a good review. Does this? Do they always have such good? Did I want to? Hang on. What's the other thing that I might have? What did I read recently? Um, what would be? Oh my god. Well, I don't want to go into like the. Let me take a quick check. I'm kind of curious what kinds of short stories come out here. For example, does it come out with anything? Oh, like anyone can do it. Manuel Munoz. If that came out, that'd be crazy. Okay, no, that's not super common. How about DM Perditi by Juliuska? No. So for some reason, that particular story comes out here, but not all, but not that many, um, not so many that these sort of like literary recent ones will pop up. Let's check The Great Silence. Yeah, so we don't get that here. We just have this one for some reason. That's sad because this is actually a pretty good encyclopedic article. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna skip this and move on to the next page. Make sure just yes, there's no awkwardness with the video here. Fancy dance regalia. The fancy dance regalia. Regalia. Regalia? Regalia? Let's double check that pronunciation. Regalia. His voice seemed extraneous. Maybe that's because of that irony. So we have this 3 out of 5. That's kind of interesting, right? But apparently Alexie has a lot of young adults writing, which I didn't know. But yeah, maybe the character feels extraneous to the story because of that irony. We'll see. Great mix of comedy and tragedy. I love comedy and tragedy being mixed. I love that feeling. Um, Absolutely True Diaries of a Part-Time Indian. I feel like I have heard of this. But anyway, moving on. It's honest, hopeful, and darkly humorous. So this is a kind of crunchy little literary experience that I'm hoping you guys can get into. Because this is the kind of thing that I think I like. Uh, I don't want to mention Woody Allen because politically he's so, uh, as a person, he's so controversial. But the worst of Woody Allen is that classic, darkly humorous, self effacing, looking at tragedy and commenting on it in a funny way. Self aware, classic. Focusing on the flaws, again, classic. Classic, what we think of as Jewish humor. What I guess I think of as Jewish humor. I mean, I don't know who we is. Oh, interesting that we have this other political Woody Allen esque little comment here. Um, I did not know that about Sherman Alexie. I also this is too vague for me to know anything really, but at least there's some controversy there to be aware of. Let's keep going. This is a funny first sentence, Leah. Jackson, and it may be the only thing he's truly been good at. That's kind of interesting sentence. Free food and good bathrooms. I'm just skipping around. I'm going down to the bottom. Is an honest depiction. Oh, right, here we go. In his own words, the two funniest tribes I've ever been around are Indians and Jews. So I guess that's something says about the inherent humor of genocide. What you pawn, I will redeem, is an honest depiction of generational trauma and disadvantage, but also of tradition and culture networks of support. Here, I'll zoom in. I just realized this is probably too big. At times ragged and bleak, and other times hopeful and kind. Cool. You know, I'm kind of excited for this. Let's go. Let's go. What am I excited about? What am I excited for? I just want to have a fun, humorous experience that kind of opens up, not just humor at someone else's expense. Oh, and let me get rid of this. Okay, okay, not just some sort of fun that is at anyone else's expense, but like fun that sort of enlightens, and allows me to understand more of a person's or a character's or even a people's suffering. And I want to have that connection with like the Native American identity or experience, uh, and one witty version of it, of the tragedy of it and everything. So I am looking forward to this. This is the kind of thing that I just genuinely that I generally really enjoy automatically. So I'm hoping it'll be um, enlightening. That's what I'm hoping for. Um, Let me pull up the file now, and we're going. All right, now I, I don't know why I was so wordy today. That took me a whole 16 minutes, but here, we're about to go. Let's get started. I don't really understand this sentence. And Indians have to work hard to keep secrets. That's fine. From hungry white folks. So why is he apparently Indians have to compete with like poor Indians have to compete with poor white people. An interior Salish. Salish? Salish? Salish. Salish. Seems Salish. An interior Salish. I'm zoning out. I'm trying to. What's the setting of this? What's the focus of this paragraph? The setting. Spokane. 10,000 years. Setting. Big setting. Seattle. He left the. He left the Spokane, the interior Salish tribe. Married multiple times. 23 years ago for college, so that means he's like 40. Uh, 2 or 3 credits, and then went crazy. Crazy is not the official definition, but asocial. I'm a boring heartbreaker too. No land speed records. He's just a bad husband. He's a bad person. Now he's homeless. Oh, that joke by Leo is basically his own joke, the character's own joke. That's a good line though. Employees' bathrooms. That's cute. I mean, cute. That sounds a little demeaning, but I mean it. We're common and boring. I like that. That's a terrible fate of the noble savage. Oh, that's a good sentence. All right, here we go. Whose son is the editor of a big time newspaper back east, but maybe he's just a liar. Hey, you gotta have a home to be that homely. He just laughed and flipped me the eagle and walked away. Homely. Am I missing some context here? Okay, right. Unattractive in appearance is what I was thinking. I don't fully understand. Moving on. That's a good characterization. This. So is she loud? Wishram. So he could be anything. Good looking. Planets. Jealous. He's the before Columbus arrived, and I'm. that's that's kind of funny. Silence. Oops. Pike Place. I was literally there like 5 days ago for the first time in my life. Anyway, panning the handle. Oh, what setting are we in? I guess 2000s. We're like the modern life. 2 hours of panning the handle. We earned $5. A fortified courage from the most beautiful 7-Eleven in the world. Fortified courage being some sort of alcohol, but can you buy alcohol in 7-Eleven? The old powwow dance regalia. Huh. They're actually having fun being drunk homeless people. That's kind of interesting, and that they just find this regalia. Photographs. Somebody took it from her. It had all the same color feathers and beads. That's he literally just goes in and there's only one way to know for sure. Let me go and tell you exactly what I think. You stole it. Pawn shops are filled with liars. I'm not lying, as my friends here. They'll tell you he's the most honest Indian I know. All right, honest Indian. Can you prove? If it really is my grandmother's, because that's interesting. They sew flaws into that's such an interesting like little thing to think about. But anyway, moving on. There will be one yellow bead hidden somewhere on it, and found it underneath beneath the armpit. You're right. This is your grandmother's regalia. Let me tell it. You go ahead. It's been 50 years. That's a little almost slapsticky. Junior says it's been missing for 50 years. Hey Junior, it's my family story. Let me tell it. It's been missing for 50 years. So that's a little on the nose for me, honestly. But whatever. He sounded sad about that, as if he was sorry for taking advantage of our disadvantages. That's such an interesting. Anyway, yeah, that could be real though. That's sometimes that's what happens. Are you serious? Yes, Jackson Jackson, Jackson Square. My family is funny. All right, Jackson Jackson. To lose $1 would be the right thing. That's too bad, he said once more. How about this? I'll give you 24 hours to come with $999. It sounds all right. All right, then. We have a deal, and I'll get you started. Here's 20 bucks. Huh. It's an interesting little comedy that he. So, comedy in the sense of like it's lighthearted and it's kind of. Now we're on like. It kind of is like, dude, where's my car? You know? We're just like on a trek looking for this $999. It's not anywhere near as intense as the money that it's like not uncut gems. Uncut gems is such an intense experience where we're trying to get the money. We're trying to get the money, and he does it by gambling. The Adam Sandler character in that movie, Uncut Gems. This is just like a bro trip, you know, except with Rose of Sharon in there, so it's not just bros. Um, what? This is honestly not the tone I was expecting. $974 more. Well, and by the way, the reason I find this like a comedy is because the guy is genuinely helping them with 20 bucks. You know, it's like he's sincere. You know, the pawn shop owner. The weird conceit about this part is the 24 hours bit. Like you have to bring it within 24 hours. Um, which makes the pawn shop broker like not feel like a real character, or if he is, he's kind of just like jerk. He knows they're homeless, so nothing's gonna happen. He's just, hey, get out of here. You know, it's like a deal where a deal is a deal. Now I will never sell it to you. You know, get out of my way. So maybe there's a little bit of cynicism there. And then also the pawn shop broker said he paid $1,000 for it, but you know that could be totally a lie. That could be a total lie. So there's multiple things going on there. But for now, it feels comedic. For now, it feels lighthearted and fun even, because the three of them just believe the pawn shop broker. They just do. Oh, and by the way, my prediction for the story is they will not find it. They will not find it, and they will not get it back. Maybe they'll steal it though. Oh, when I say they will not find it, I mean they will not find the $974 is what I meant. But maybe they will steal the regalia. 3 bottles of imagination. Oh my god. Oh my god. 3 bottles of alcohol. Beer, I hope, because that's cheaper. This is not a good start. Jeez. Anyway, one, two, and three. That's one whole hour later. They fell asleep. Oh my god, it's not beer. It's something way worse. Salt always smells like memory. That's a good sentence. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm just dealing with one minor detail. Okay. Okay, here we go. They come from Alaska. Oh, excuse me. Indian bars. 11 years. I cried with them for a while. Do you, what? Do you guys have any? Okay, this is a real bad start. It's a real bad start. It was honestly a drunk start from the beginning, right? They went into the place and they were drunk already. Half of a cigarette. Phew. Uranium mine. Got run over by a motorcycle. That's terrible, man. I wondered if my when somebody stole her powwow regalia. Maybe the cancer started in the broken heart and leaked down to the breasts. But maybe the regalia will bring her back to life. Big money to the Real Change office. Real Change. Right. This sounds like the advertisement for Real Change. I'm not good at staying sober. And that's a lot of papers. I need them. $429. He's a funny and kind man. I don't want to do that. It's a quest now. I needed to win it back by myself. That's such an interesting. There's only 302. 500 dollar bill for some reason. The average daily net is about 30. This isn't gonna work. Can you? What can you do? I can give you 50 papers for free, but don't tell anybody I did it. So that's the beginning. It's already 5 hours later. And he dumped the other 45. Oh my god. This is a mess, man. What is this? So this is such a he just he's clearly not that serious. So I feel very conflicted about this character, man. This character is a mess. This character is a mess. Oh my god. Healed and comforted American Australian soldiers. A wounded Maori soldier. It's funny, isn't it? How we brown people are killing other brown people so white people remain free. I hadn't thought of it that way. I wonder, he knows this whole story, huh? He knows, Jackson Square knows the whole story that this grandma told. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can run on your hands. They laughed again. I laughed at the memory of my grandmother's story. to make sure he was still breathing. He's still alive. Walked to a Korean grocery store. 50-cent cigar. 2 scratch lottery tickets for a doctor each. $500. If I won both, I would have enough money to buy back the regalia. Mary, saying all day, I love you, I said. You always say you love me. Because I will always love you. But I can dream. Only hold your hands. No sex, just romance. Goodbye, Jackson. Jackson, my love. I will see you soon. It's funny. He's like a positive and lovable drunk who is hopelessly. He's horrible with money. So he's such a bad character, but it's hard to hate him. Smoke my cigar all the way down. 1-0. A free ticket. Just like a man, you love money and power more than you love me. So she's joking, obviously, with him. It's true, and I'm sorry, it's true. That's also funny. It's like lighthearted. Real money, $100. That's a fortune. Our fingertips touched. I felt electric and constant. Thank you. And gave her one of the bills. It's your money. No, it's tribal. It's an Indian thing. You're supposed to share with your family. I'm not your family. Yes, you are. So what's the point? So this is such a strange. So my prediction was that the he's not gonna get the regalia, or he's not gonna get the $999, which seems extremely obvious now. But the journey has been very different from what I was expecting. The journey is very not serious whatsoever. He's basically not even trying. If he makes $100, he just gives 20 of it away. So he's so lighthearted and kind of lovable as a character. He was gone. And he just dies. At 8 p.m., he's just gone. Wow. Wow. This Sherman Alexie, like the lighthearted humor, honestly, is not for me like that. Like it doesn't feel that's like crazy or dramatic or sophisticated or whatever to me. It's not that noticeable. Like I don't notice it that much. I mean, just other than for it being surprising, it is a little surprising that how casual this character is, right? But that 8 p.m. Junior just dies. That's just wow. Okay. What does exposure mean? I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna move on. Lonesome for Indians, I carried my $80 to a bar. It just becomes an Indian bar at some point. 8 men, 7 women. So we all pretended to be cousins. As bad as you got, $1 a shot. $80? Oh my god. It's horrible. Horrible $1 shots. $16 times 5 chubby pale. 5 drinks for everybody. The mathematician, which is the Indian woman, Duwamish, and he's Crow. I'm Crow. He said, I flew here. This is that joke. Irene Muse, the honey boy. So I did, but he offered his hand. He giggled and blushed. You're one of them two spirits, aren't you? I love women and I love men. Sometimes both at the same time, we laughed. 8 or 9 spirits going about between you. Honey boy, it has nothing to do with love, we laughed. Never say never. This bit of like homoerotic flirting, just such a crazy next scene after Junior is potentially dying, or like, is in the midst of dying. A virgin as in the Virgin Mary, as in the Christian Mary. They got more whiskey, so more than five. Irene to dance. Honey Boy selected Will Nelson. Help me make it through the night with Willie. Who's Willie? Are you serenading him? I asked him. He's going to put a spell on you. So, all of that money that he won, he used. My God. For a hookup in a grungy bar where he drank like 10 shots of $1 whiskey. Long gone. That's 2 hours later. He passed out. Still drinking hard after a long, hard day of drinking. Gone for hours. Where'd they go? I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I don't care. You're an ungrateful bastard. You don't need. Okay, come on. I'm not a fake him at me. So he's getting messed up. This is so bad. So sloppy, man. Jackson, is that you? Officer Williams. Diabetic, man. Oh my God. He could have died. 1972, and you're killing yourself now. Jeez. Uh, I've been killing myself ever since she died. That is so sad. Yo, that is so sad. That's such a sad, sad line. He's a good cop. Somebody beat the hell out of you. Remember who? Mr. Grief and I went a few rounds. It's full of drunk Indians. What guys? You Indians, how the hell do you laugh so much? It's picture after off the railroad tracks. You're making jokes. Why the hell do you do that? We laughed. I'm actually right here. This laughed. What? Whoa! That just I just got something. I just felt something there, and I'm trying to capture it in words. But this we laughed over here. I just connected that like, oh my God, this phrase of we laughed comes out over and over and over in this story. We laughed, we laughed, we laughed, we laughed. Right here, right here we have this we laughed. Oh man. We have this constant laughing. Like I'm just trying to find another example over here, you know. Um, We laughed right here, right? We laughed right here. We laughed right here. And maybe it became more intense, right? Maybe all the we laughed came out a lot more right here. Maybe they were getting close to like the climax, or we can just pass some sort of climax of some sort. But this we laughed, we laughed. We get this constant laughter, and it's starting to feel um, disassociated with the jokes. There's always these jokes, these jokes, these jokes. But this guy's just drunk all the time, man. It's a mess. It feels darker now, especially after this inherent humor of genocide. You know, so I feel that darkness right now, and I don't feel the same about this. We laughed anymore. He was the second best cop I'd ever known. You're a good cop, I said. The grandfather's the other cop. He was a good cop. He never arrested. He would just take care of them, just like you. I'm an ass killer. But then things get heavy. Hell yes, it's scary. How did it happen? Only three murders. That is safe. We're passive. We're mean with words. We'll cuss, but we don't shoot. Fighting. But this guy was my grandfather's brother. And shot him in the head. Yo, that surprise is like I can imagine that. It's not a neat little story. That randomness of just someone just maybe something pent up, or I don't know. It's hard to psychologize. There's not a good and ready explanation for why someone might do that. Even this character doesn't know. But it's so real because that could happen. Oh man. He got killed by his own brother for no reason. You have to. Too late. I'll get it back for you legally. No, that's not fair. I want to be a hero, you know? Ah, dude, that's kind of sad. I'm sad, man. And besides, I'm on a mission here. I want to be a hero, you know? I want to win it back like a knight. It's been a long time since I really cared about something. And he's getting this money. So he got the $20 from the pawnbroker, used it up. He got the $80 from from the lottery, used it up, and now he's getting these $30. And I'm I feel two feelings. I'm conflicted. Realistically, what should happen is he's just gonna use it up. So he's a degenerate scum. He's like he's horrible. He's degenerate, and he should not be getting this money. He should not have be such a funny guy who just charms people and gets money and uses it on drink, gets smashed, passes out. He shouldn't be, but and I kind of hate him for that. But laughing is his only coping mechanism, and drinking is his only coping mechanism. And I want him to break out of it, but I don't think he will, and that's sad. That's sad. I'm sad. I believe in what you believe. I'm hoping, and I don't know why I'm hoping it, but I hope you can turn $30 into 1,000 somehow. I believe in magic. I believe you'll take my money and get drunk on it. Then why are you giving it to me? There ain't no such thing as an atheist cop. Well, sure there is. Well, yeah, I'm not an atheist cop. He let me out of the car, handed me two fivers and 50, shook my hand. Stay off the road. At this point, I have no idea what he's gonna do. He has 4 hours left, and I'm moved by the kindness of the people around him, and I'm hurt because I don't know what's gonna happen because I don't know what this character's gonna do. You know, but I feel the reality. Like I feel that this is a real character, and it hurts. Okay. Okay, I'm losing track on the wall. They are still there. They're still there. God damn it. They've also lost hope. They're also kind of mythical in a way. There are three of them exactly, like the three Furies or something, the three Fates, you know, and they're just waiting forever for 11 years. And one of the first interactions that was really surprising is he just went to these three Aleuids or Ali. Hang on, I don't know how to pronounce this. Aleuts, Aleuts. Is that a? I think that's a. So Aleuts. So these three Aleuts are kind of mythical at this point. So we have the quest, and they're kind of like what? They're seers or something, you know? Fossilized if we sat there long enough. That's kind of a funny thought to have. I never seen her dance in her regalia. I wish I'd seen her dance. Hank Williams. How about Indian? Hank Williams is Indian. Hank Williams is sacred. I'm wishing my grandmother was still alive. Every song I know is about that. Well, sing me as many as you can. Sing their strange and beautiful songs. I was lonesome for everything. The others are just for our people. We have to keep our secrets. We could eat. So there's that food. And that's where the last $30 goes. But this last $30 goes towards compassion. And he is generous. Every time he makes money, he's giving it to someone else. Maybe that's why, maybe that's why people feel comfortable giving Jackson Squared money, because Jackson's just going to use it on other people. He's like paying it forward every time. And part of the story is really about that first sentence about how being homeless is the only thing he's ever really been good at. This is a guy who's totally optimized for being homeless. Aren't you the generous one? Don't ask me rhetorical questions. Then she laughed. Okay, Professor. Real questions. Grateful we feasted. I have never felt that. I mean, and I love eggs, bacon, toast, and hash brown, but experiencing eggs, bacon, toast, hash brown with Jackson Squared is a totally different experience, man. Even I feel thankful. And they disappeared. Maybe they died. Okay. Right, because he was drunk. That's a twist. I was not expecting this. He can't even find it. There it was. Do you have the money? How much do you need again? Of course it was. Why would it change? No, it is different. That's a different $5. I want to stop there for a second. I want to make a comment there because I feel something powerful. I feel like a real connection to that line right here. I'm gonna highlight it real quick. By the way, I kind of skimmed the rest of the this page, and it looks like the pawnbroker might just act out of generosity. He might. I kind of want that to happen, although it's. I'll talk more about that in a second. But for now, let's just start here. Is that the same $5? No, it's different. And what a world of difference that they made. In that day, he actually earned $20 and $80 and then $30. And he's left with $5. In that day, he gave he gave what, how many shots? 75 shots of alcohol away. He fed his two friends with 7-Eleven, and he fed the three Alouettes with eggs and bacon toast and whatever. In that one day, nothing has changed with his money. He made Mary laugh, though. He made. Uh, he got happy, I guess, with drunk people. And. Oh, by the way, he got those 50 magazines as well. And he laughed with a bunch of different people. He laughed with a bunch of different people. That's what happened with those $5 that he started with. Did you work hard for this money? Yes. Take it. I don't want your money, but I want you did win it. Now take it. Right here, this ending. This is such not a cynical story. It's such a hopeful story. This is gonna change nothing for him, but he gets everything. Okay. I'm just thinking about this story real quick. My hair's a mess. Apologies. I've said, I think, most of what I've needed to say, stopping at the right moments. This is not exactly Woody Allen humor. It isn't. And I don't feel that sort of alternation between crying and laughing that sometimes um, I've experienced with um, like Woody Allen films. This is all a bit. I think the biggest difference is because it's a lot more hopeful. It's a lot more hopeful, even as it manages to be hope, like despairing actually, because in a way, externally speaking, Jackson Square is not going to change. He got this thing. He's going to remain like a consummate homeless person, a homeless drunk Indian. And that's probably how he's going to live for the rest of his life. He's never going to have that moment of redemption from a external standpoint. But there is so much hope in this story because from less of a societal standpoint of like the homelessness and whatnot, and more just from like a human perspective. Like he has that relationship with Mary. He has that relationship with the guy who deals the magazines for sale. You know, he has a relationship with the policeman, and it's like he's loved in a way, and he shares his love, and he gets the thing from the pawnbroker, even though he didn't even know the pawnbroker. And so he's kind of living the best life possible for him, for anyone like him. We learn a lot less about Native American struggle in a general way. We just learn about this one very unorthodox character. But I just felt so connected to that character because I don't. It's a very warm character. It's a very warm story. I wonder though, and so that one review I read at the beginning where it said that the voice seemed extraneous to the story. I can't sympathize with that reading whatsoever. I have, in fact, find it hard. I find it really hard to even imagine how a reader may have felt that the voice is extraneous to the story, unless maybe you were thinking the whole story is about Native American struggle. If you thought the whole story was about Native American struggle, then he seems extraneous because he doesn't really highlight this struggle whatsoever. You know, the struggle's sort of in the background, only fuzzily there. This story is actually more about a lovely person living a homeless life uh, in a way that we shouldn't like doing things that we should not really approve of, but we root for him because of who he is. He's generous, he's caring, he's funny, he's warm. I want to know him, you know. Oh, and when that cop gave him the $30, you know, I guess you know at that point it clicked. Nothing's gonna change, but that's okay, kind of. You know, it's he's okay in a way. Yeah. So Sherman Alexie, everybody, and this story. What you pawn, I will redeem. I I uh, I really enjoyed it. Um, I'm just thinking about that title really quickly. What you pawn, I will redeem. He wants to be a hero. He kind of gets to be. He works hard for it. And what's the work that he did? He just lavished everyone else with his money, with his love. And that's how he got it. He redeems it with his love, with his kindness. Guys, that's it for me. Really powerful story. You know, if you can kind of, at least for me, it was a really powerful story for me because I could kind of stay connected with, I was balancing sort of like the social aspects and then just his character himself and like playing with the expectations, right? Sherman and Alexie playing with the expectations that we would have. I was surprised at almost every turn, so I was kept engaged I was kept very engaged throughout the whole process. And I think the primary tool I used to stay engaged was just thinking, what am I really expecting to happen? And I'm just constantly checking in with what I was expecting to happen, and noticing how my expectations were subverted, were being surprised at every turn. And I was surprised multiple times. And I finally, at the moment when the cop gave the $30, I realized, man, man, what a character! What a character! What a character! And he goes back to the Aleuts, and he's so generous. Oh, and I guess that was the other time I had that realization where he uses the money on other people, and that finally clicked. That every single time he was using the money for other people, uh, and I think with that insight, you might be able to enjoy reading about Jackson Squared. A little more. Without that insight, I find that I imagine it'd be really hard to connect to Jackson Squared. But understanding the fundamental kindness of Jackson Squared, that's underneath the sort of laughing and the humor and the whatever, you understand that kindness, I think that really helps with the emotional engagement of the story. All right, guys, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys thought about the story. Leave a comment below. And if you like this kind of really roughly made streams, please hit the subscribe button and let me know why you're subscribing. I'm very curious why you guys do subscribe when you do. And I want to know what kinds of stories you have to read, up in your timeline. Have to or want to read up in in your personal timelines. Maybe you're doing it for school, maybe you're doing it for yourselves. But if you kind of share the kinds of things that you would like to read, maybe I'll be able to kind of sync up with you guys and make something, make some content, make some streams that are good for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.